there's a hint of denial, or at the very least, it's like their compass is off. They might hear you say the words, "Hey, I think you're being scammed." And their rational brain might say, you might be right. But the emotional side and the mental side might say, no, that can't be right. Or, well, because only someone who is trying to scam me would be the one to contact me. And, who else could possibly love me but a scammer? And it's a very deep emotional wound that opens up. And it actually pushes them further under the influence of the scammer. So that's why that's important. How you approach that subject needs to be handled with care. If you're going to verbalize that, I would say at least also verbalize, but we love you and you are so lovable. That person needs that reassurance because there was something that drew them to that manipulation, to that scammer in the first place. So that is basically what I'm here for. I'm here to give you information about those resources, including a website I wish I had known existed back when I was being scammed. I did not find out about the website until after mine was over and done with. And I was actually actively looking for help. The website is againstscams.org. So if you leave here with two pieces of information, zoemichaels.com, which is my website, and I will continue to be posting information about this periodically, as well as information about my books and even music I have created that is meant to build up a person's self-worth and to also put them on guard against scammers, but in a very positive way. So zoemichaels.com and againstscams.org. I do recommend my book, and I trust that when you have my book that you will put in reviews, tell me what you think about it. Now, for happier things, I love to write fiction, and I look to provide clean, wholesome entertainment when I write. You'll never find any kind of foul language in my books. I don't speak that way in my life, and I don't think my characters in my books should have to speak that way. But I still want to give a very interesting story, whether it's science fiction, whether it's romance, or just pure, clean fantasy. And so that's what I have right now. I have written 4 books in total. My first book is basically a vacation inside a book. It's called The Seventh Minute. And it's the first in what will be a 4-part series that's all about family and reconnecting with yourself so that you can really give yourself what you need, but also give your family what they need and draw closer. My second book was intended for the millennial and Generation X age groups. It's called The Echoed Mind. It is pure science fiction, and it's a 2-part. But the first part probably could stand alone on its own as a book. The next book I published is a romance, and it's called Love Lies and Pina Coladas. And it's based on one of my favorite songs. It's my guilty pleasure song by Rupert Holmes, the Pina Colada song, Escape. And it's a modern day take on that storyline. But it also encapsulates some of the lessons from Gary Chapman of the 5 love languages. Now, these are the ones that are currently published. They are there on Amazon and other book retailers. But I also have plans for the future. I have the second book in the 7th Minute series that I hope to publish in a few more months. I have a wonderful story in store for next February that's going to be based on the song Brandy by Looking Glass. That's the inspiration for it, but a whole different angle, which is another one of my goals. I like to make people think, but I also like to take things from an angle that maybe no one else has ever explored. So that is me. That is what I do. And as far as my podcast coming up, I am looking for guests. I'm looking for people who want to share how maybe they did face a traumatic situation like I did, and how they were able to come through it and find the strength to make their life something better, to shape it into something new that maybe they before didn't think they would ever do. I never thought I would publish books, but I've always loved to write. And so I am really happy with the way my journey is now taking shape now that I've passed through that fire and I have formed things in the direction I want them to go. I still have a ways to go. I have a lot of damage to repair. And I never thought I would be the person speaking up about being scammed in a public way. My instincts were to hide away, never share my story. But I have actually recently learned that even though it was baby steps and I knew I was healing on some level, but there's a scientific basis for it. It's hard to speak up. And it may just be a trusted friend or a stranger that you feel comfortable with. One little baby step at a time. Maybe put it in writing after you have time. But it's called affected labeling. That is the psychological scientific term for it. And it is amazing how much better your life is once you find your voice and you move forward. And you have to do it at your own pace, but just little bit by little bit, and you can heal. It's nice meeting you. I look forward to hopefully talking to you in the near future, maybe in one of the book clubs that Shivani has planned. I possibly might be doing some courses. We'll see. It's early days and I haven't decided, but there will be at least more books.